Welcome to Massive Late Fee. And now your hosts, Mark and Carol. Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to Massive Late Fee. My name is Mark. With you as always is my wife, Carol. How you doing today, Carol?
Hey, what's up?
Not much. It's been a good week here. It's July 10th, 2000. We're a little late this week, but that's fine. We're doing once a week, so, figure don't have to eschew exactly to that Tuesday schedule.
So yeah, hopefully you all forgive us.
We took a little bit of extra time to digest this film, but we saw a Scary Movie.
What did you think of it, Mark?
It's not for me.
Okay.
They didn't make this movie for me.
Who did they make it for?
Younger people, I think, like teenagers, 15, 16-year-olds, I think, would think this is funny.
Okay.
I guess that's my guess. I don't... So, this movie is written by, directed by, produced by the Wayans brothers. There are several Wayans brothers. You may all remember In Living Color, which I thought In Living Color was very funny when I was younger and the show was on the air. And maybe this is less sophisticated humor or not. They co-wrote this with a writing group named Freeberg and Seltzer.
Weird.
Yeah, I'm not sure who they are, but anyway, the humor style. Keenen Ivory Wayans, who is the creator of In Living Color, he's the oldest of the Wayans brothers. There's Keenen Ivory, Damon, and then others. I can't remember their names. But
we do research before we talk to y'all.
Yeah, of course we do. But anyway, there's two of them in the movie.
Okay.
The one guy that's supposed to be gay but isn't gay is a Wayans, and the guy that does that smokes all the pot is a Wayans.
Weren't those like the only two black guys in the whole movie?
Yeah, the only two black guys. Yeah, there's a black girl. I don't think she's a Wayans.
It's just like interesting to me, like that this movie was written and created by the Wayans brothers, right? Who have like In Living Color was mostly black people, right?
Yeah, and mostly black people and Jim Carrey. Yeah.
And like this movie was so like heavily white.
I guess that's the Friedberg and Seltzer like influence. I'm not sure. I do see what you're saying. I think it would have been, there's the cliche that black people die first in horror movies and stuff like that. I think there's something there. I think it would be funny if they did a black style horror movie. There are a couple of jokes that I thought were funny that seemed to come from the Wayans brothers that reference that.
Okay.
There's a scene at the beginning where they're doing the news position where after Carmen Electra gets killed, and they are, everyone's doing the report. This young girl got killed or whatever, and then but they go to Black News, and it's like white people are getting killed. We're getting out of here. Signing off from Black News or whatever. There's one part where it's a new person that plays Cindy instead of Sydney.
Yeah.
What's her name? Anna Faris. She does 911 on the computer, and she says "white woman in trouble," and then we cut to police cars immediately showing up. So there's a couple things like that I think are funny, and a play on society, a play on horror movies that I think are funny. But there's not nearly enough of that in the movie.
I gotta say a couple of things. I think Anna Faris is prettier than Neve Campbell.
It's close. She's very pretty and a gifted comedic actress. She's funny in this, even in scenes that are not funny.
Mm-hmm. And also, I think I enjoyed this movie more than you.
Oh yeah, interesting. This is not your type of humor. It's very interesting to me.
I know, but it's making fun of movies that we've seen recently. And in that way, like, it was tickling my funny bone, I guess. It's not, I mean, if it was presented by itself, without any context, without like, oh, this is making fun of something, but it's just a movie on its own, I would think it was dumb.
Yeah.
But it's making fun of movies that we've seen recently, and that was funny to me.
It reminds me a little bit of Airplane, but not as inspired as Airplane, I guess. What a lot of people don't realize is that Airplane is almost a shot-for-shot remake of a serious film. Like a serious film where there's like people are getting sick and the plane's going down and stuff like that. I can't remember the name of the movie. Terror in the Sky or something like that. But essentially when they made Airplane, that's what they did, is they did like almost a shot-for-shot remake of that movie, but then they rewrote it completely for comedy bits.
Right.
And this reminds me of that in a way because this movie obviously is heavily parodying Scream. There is a subplot of I Know What You Did Last Summer in there too that they're making fun of. And then there's one little scene where it's fucking what the one where they're in the woods, the Blair Witch Project.
Yeah.
So there's one scene of that, but it's primarily those two films. There's fuck, I totally forgot where I was going with
you
that.
lost your train of thought.
But that's the shot for shot thing. Mm-hmm. So that's like the backbone of the movies. And there are several scenes where it's like dialogue is similar, the setup is completely similar to Scream. And they even, because Scream's such a meta movie where they're like, oh, whatever, like we're in, this is just like a horror movie or whatever. They do that too, where they're like, there's a couple meta moments where they're like, we're specifically in a horror movie and like the movie Scream or whatever, and we're doing the same dialogue and someone's like, yeah, they're like, this is the same dialogue from the movie Scream or whatever. And they literally say that. And the guy's like, how's that movie end? I was like, I don't know. We forgot how it ends or whatever. But they end it the way that Scream ends, except then they do an extra twist, an extra Usual Suspects twist. Another movie we saw and did.
Yeah. Which, yeah, I mean, to me, it's just that made it, like, funny.
What I didn't like about it is there's a lot of like gross humor in it, and that I don't really respond to. And some of the stuff is kind of silly.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely silly. But I mean, like I didn't think it was particularly funny, the whole like electric chastity belt or like
right,
the lawnmower to get to her.
The lawnmower to get to her.
Well, like she had the giant bush, like,
oh yeah. It was not a lawnmower. He's got hedge clippers.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, like I didn't like that.
Yeah.
I don't really remember a ton of gross stuff though.
They talk about farts a couple times. It's just not funny to me.
Yeah.
The stuff with Doofy.
Oh, I hated that though.
Like,
yeah.
There's a lot of like, stuff with that I thought was stupid.
Yeah, I mean, although I do have to say they did kind of portray him like that. I get where they're coming from.
Yeah, he's portrayed like it's a complete like exaggeration of, but I mean that's what a parody is supposed to be.
Right.
It's a complete exaggeration, but yes, he is that character Dewey is portrayed as stupider and like whatever, just
slow.
Yeah, more so than the other characters. I think in the sequels he gets a little more agency. Mm-hmm. But like by the third one, he seems more in charge of things. But I don't know. He almost gets killed in every single one of them, so who knows?
That is true.
But yeah, I didn't love it, but there were things that I thought was funny. Like I liked all the understated bits, the stuff that you could just pass by. Like, the name of the school was B.A. Corpse High, which I thought was funny, and they never point that out. It's just in the background.
Yeah, I would not have noticed if you hadn't pointed it out to me.
The fact that the principal in Scream was what's his name? Henry Winkler, who is famous for playing the Fonzie on Happy Days, but has gone on to do other things too, Night Shift and stuff like that. But the principal in this one is Squiggy from Laverne and Shirley. That's subtle.
Yeah.
But I thought it was funny.
I agree. I mean,
the girl from American Pie was in here, Nadia, doing her regular accent.
Yeah. I don't remember what she was doing. I remember her
Nadia?
presence. Yeah.
She got her head cut off at one point. Remember, she's like, "Oh, this is the part in the movie where I'm supposed to do this."
Oh,
this
yeah,
is the part in the movie
yeah.
Where I'm supposed to do this.
Yes, I remember that now.
Yeah.
Where she was being killed and not acting like she did not care at all.
They do that parody of Jennifer Love Hewitt, like, "What are you waiting for?"
Yeah.
And like spinning around.
I thought that was funny as hell. Like, I was laughing at that.
I thought that was funny too. That was one of the funny things that I thought, because it's like, that scene in that movie is ridiculous.
Yeah.
But yet it became iconic. And it's apparently someone some kid wrote that. Some
kid wrote it?
Yes, they had a contest for write a scene in this upcoming horror movie or whatever, and this kid won, and that's the scene he came up with. It was direct. That's what it was. It was direct a scene in the horror movie. And so he guest directed that scene. And he was like, "Oh, what if she did this and said this? What are you waiting for?" And like that's and when you realize that it's such a little kid thing to do, to spin around, what are you waiting for? There's another subtle thing that I thought was really funny that Anna Faris does, and it seems like this was maybe her idea. I don't know, because it seems like it's something that the actress would come up with. But when she's in the lunchroom and she runs away, the way she runs away, and she's all like, she's got her hands like up in the air and stuff like that. I never really thought about it, but if you think of Neve Campbell in Scream, that's how she runs.
What, really?
Yeah, it's a little bit of an exaggeration, but she does run weird like that.
Huh. I never noticed. We'll have to watch it again so we can verify this.
Mm-hmm.
Your memory is so much better than mine.
Yeah, that's all right. But yeah, I didn't hate the movie. The one guy gets his ear impaled by a dick.
That was gross.
Yeah.
It could have been grosser.
Oh yeah, it could have been grosser. Could have looked more realistic, I guess.
Right? I mean, like, we recently watched that Nightmare on Elm Street movie, right?
Yeah.
Where the kid gets, the cotton swab jammed in his ear.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Mommy, don't make me deaf." And it was, like,
Right.
really upsetting.
Yeah.
And so, like, a comical dick through the ears, like, I'll take that any day
Oh,
over...
will you?
Oh, my God. No, not what I meant.
But, like, that made no sense either. Because it's like, why, like... So he's dead, but he's not dead? Like, who is that for?
Yeah, I don't know.
No one else was there to witness that, except for the audience, so who's that for? Why even pretend that happened?
He wasn't dead, though, right?
No, because he comes back at the end. He's one of the killers. Spoilers, he's one of the killers.
So,
just like in the movie Scream, he and the boyfriend are the killers because he's the Matthew Lillard character. Yeah, I guess I get it because Matthew Lillard does play that almost like that character is gay, even though he's dating Rose McGowan in that thing. Mm-hmm. But he has a lot of like mannerisms in that movie. Yeah. So I get where they're coming from with that. But and there was a little bit too much of that, like, "Oh, I'm gay," kind of like gay panic humor. I'm not super into that. I'm not super into the humor of like this guy is mentally handicapped or whatever, and we're gonna make fun of him. They redeem it at the end, I guess, because spoilers, he's not at all. He is the mastermind. He's pretending the whole time because he's the one that is actually the killer, I guess. Surprise, Sydney. There was one thing that I thought was funny where he's like, where the phone rings, he's like, "Hi, Sydney," and she's like, "Who's this?" And he's like, "It's your boyfriend. You don't recognize?" Like he kind of does the voice a little bit, but it's like we know that he's gonna be the one. Like, that was sort of funny to me.
Well, I mean,
it's a subversion of expectations.
We knew he was going to be the one because we've seen the other movies.
Yeah.
There was not many surprises here.
No, and I guess I shouldn't necessarily criticize the movie for the whole dick through the ear thing, because it's like, that doesn't make any sense, but it's also like, it's a silly comedy. It's not supposed to make sense necessarily.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I did think the extra twist at the end was interesting. Like, that did catch me off guard. I was like, oh, okay, I get they're doing a Usual Suspects thing. You know? What elements of the movie did you like? Like, the acting, the directing, like, what?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, like,
the costuming.
I guess the acting, I don't know. I mean, like, it's a popcorn movie. It's not like a thinker, but I enjoyed the experience of watching it. And I thought some of the actors in this might have been better than the actors in the...
Well, I do think Anna Faris was really good.
Yeah.
The guy that played the boyfriend, I don't know his name, but I think he was pretty good too. I thought Carmen Electra was actually really good at the beginning, as someone that's not like known as a great actress or anything. But I thought she was funny at the beginning. She did her comedy role well.
And I thought that joke at the beginning was funny too. And maybe I'm simple. I don't know. When the killer's out there with the Playboy, and you know, that
started off the movie strong because it was funny. When he's like, I want to know what your insides look like, or whatever. She's like, turn to page 59.
Yeah,
that was funny.
So I don't know, and like the scene in the original movie was upsetting.
Yeah,
where like Drew Barrymore is, you know, killed by him, and like she's hanging from a tree, her insides are hanging out, her parents find her like that.
Yeah.
It's all upsetting. This movie, the dad's getting a BJ and they run her over and they don't even realize it. Like, it's lighter. I guess I was just in the mood for something light yesterday.
It is lighter for sure. Yeah,
I enjoyed the laughing and not being sad.
I mean,
or
people are dying, but like it's never taken too seriously. Obviously, the threat elements in the movie are not like, it's not like Ghostbusters, where Ghostbusters is a silly comedy and they're doing silly comedy lines, but the ghosts are treated like real threats, and like that there's like danger there and stuff like that. Like that's a one way to do a comedy. This was not this. The deaths and stuff, it was never treated as like, oh, this is scary. The scary elements were never treated as such. They're treated as silliness, which is fine. But I liked that part at the beginning. The whole Baywatch, like, you know, pose in the water stuff and everything was funny.
How about the breast implant?
That was a funny gag.
I thought that was funny too.
But yeah, I liked the beginning. That just I wish it was a little funnier than it was. I wish it was a little more subtle. See, like I said, it reminds me a little bit of Airplane. What Airplane gets by with is clever wordplay. Like you know, Shirley, you can't be serious. I am serious, and don't call me Shirley. You know, like that kind of stuff where it's like clever wordplay and then like things in the background. Like the Zucker brothers were great at filling the frame with comedy things that they don't even comment on. And they do that a little bit in this movie, but not as much. And some of the actual like delivered jokes are, I think, kind of stupid.
Yeah, I know. I mean, they were. It's just sometimes it just hits right.
But I thought like I said, I thought the performances were good. I thought, what's her name from American Pie? What is her name?
I don't know.
I can't think of her name now. Nadia, but the girl from American Pie, Shannon Elizabeth.
Sure. Yeah, I have no idea.
I think that's it. She was good. She played Buffy. Yeah, Carmen Electra's character was named Drew because Drew Barrymore played the character, and then Shannon Elizabeth's character is named Buffy because Sarah Michelle Gellar played her analog character in I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Right. But I mean, I don't know. I would recommend it.
I guess I would recommend it too. It's the #1 movie in America.
So a lot of people would agree.
Yeah, I guess I would recommend it too. Like I said, it depends heavily on. I like a little more understated, sarcastic style humor than the broad comedy stuff, but it is funny enough and interesting enough that I think it's worth your time.
Yeah.
But that is the episode for the week. Carol, tell people where they can find their own impaling penis.
Oh my gosh, you can write us at latefee1994@aol.com.
Uh-huh.
Check out our website at www.retrolatefee.com.
Yep.
And share the tapes with your friends.
All right, we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.